Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the week of September 5th. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go and see what we have here for you, Aquarius. Now I am using the Mermaid Tarot as well as the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. I do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure we're all set up here. Okay. I think that looks just about good enough to me for right now. We'll go ahead and take 3 of these Oracle cards to clarify, and then we'll also put 3, or we'll go ahead and put this up here. All right. So you have an extremely interesting synchronicity here showing up on your reading with the star and the tower next to each other in the past. Those cards come one after the other. I'm going to talk about that at length, but you have had, dare I say, some type of spiritual awakening here in the past, or you know, if that's not the case, you've had some sort of dramatic event that ended up turning your situation around for the better. You've had some sort of huge event here in the past. Again, very rare combination to find. Some of you are a little bit unsure of how something will play out, or it's possible that you were unsure around how something would play out. Also, the word insecure came in. I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying the word insecure came into my mind. Like there's some sort of insecurity in your life related to perhaps money situations here. But by the way, there could also be somebody. There could be somebody new coming in, but it really depends on something. So let's just dive into this a little bit more. Let's get some additional messages here. So in the overall situation, you do have this 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles really says that right now in your mind, you may be engaging in negative self-talk when it comes to money. This person feels like they've lost all hope. Okay, they are in despair. But as you can see here, the person coming out of the water is like, wait, hold on. Like, this is not the end for you, okay? You may be going through a temporary hardship, but there is something else available to you. As you can see, they're offering this person kind of words of wisdom, if you will, here, or you know, something like that. That's kind of the idea that I get from this illustration of the 5 of Pentacles. And, you know, for you to get this, typically the 5 of Pentacles refers to scarcity thinking or negative self-talk around worthiness. So for the 5 of Pentacles, you may be saying like, I could never have that, or I'm not pretty enough for that person, or you know, I don't deserve this, or like those types of negative self-talk and that type of language towards self is kind of what comes forward when you see something like a 5 of Pentacles. So I'll talk about that some more, but in the past year, wow, you have the star and the tower. So the tower is just, how do I start here? Because it's like almost never happens, but it's actually a good combination. When I see the star in a reading with the tower, for me, it's always a good combination. So the tower is like something in your life collapsing. It can be a dramatic card. It can say that there's something in your life that was not stable that is now kind of coming down. And that's now sort of being wiped out or being realigned because, like I said, it wasn't really for you. It wasn't really there for you in the first place. And so you could say that the tower is about sort of unexpected situations happening in your life. However, the tower always leads you to the star, and the star is one of the best cards to find. It's one of my favorite cards, but it's one of the best cards to find because it's total optimism, hope, healing, and good opportunities in the future. This is one of the major wish cards. You can see that this person's bringing a wish in from the cosmos. You can see it's coming in here. There's a wish coming in from the universe to this person. They are calling a wish into their life. And this star card is really welcome for you when you get the Tower, because it says that you could really be healing from some sort of upheaval in your life, right? And for you, this combination really represents a blessing in disguise, because yes, the Tower collapsed, but it also was never really there for you or meant for you in the first place. And to get the Star with it, it's like a double or an extra confirmation that this is actually a blessing. And so some of you have gone through something really challenging here in the past, but this is going to end up, I would not be surprised if you looked back on this period of time and you said, you know what, this is actually, now I know, I see why that had to happen, or that person had to fall out, or that situation had to fall out, and I know why now. In the future, you have the Three of Swords as well as the Knight of Cups here. So you could take this in one of two ways, okay? And that's why I said it really depends on your situation. At the beginning, I said it depends on your situation, but some of you could be finding somebody and some of you could be losing somebody. One way, a more negative way of looking at this would be the Three of Swords represents divorce, separation, breakup. You're separating from the Knight of Cups, okay? And so the Knight of Cups is somebody that you really care deeply about, somebody that you fantasize about, somebody you've romanticized in your head about. This is sort of like, if you look up the definition of the Knight of Swords, it could be your knight in shining armor type of energy. I don't attach gender to the cards, but so it could really be anybody. But this could be something, it could be that type of energy where maybe you're separating from somebody and it's been a challenge for you. However, the other way of looking at this can be that the Tower with the Star here in the past was you separating from somebody, and as you separate from somebody, you find someone else. That oftentimes that happens, right? Like oftentimes we have to, like especially like with your first love, right? Your first love in life. Some people marry their first love and stay with their first love forever, but that doesn't happen frequently. And so it's like for you, some of you may be separating from somebody and then also finding somebody else. Again, it really depends on what situation you find yourself in. But the point is that the Star is here. The Star is here. And the Star is helping to really bring this all together. That this is probably synchronistic in some ways. Now let's go ahead and move up the pyramid here. So you have the Knight of Swords. You have the Strength card. You have the Ace of Swords. And you also have the Two of Swords showing up here. All right, so we have number one, the Ace, and then number two, the Two of Swords. Okay, and we actually have 1, 2, 3 of Swords here, all together, forming a little triangle, if you will. And so to me, that means you're like, it's like a zone of focus for you. Okay, this is like a zone of focus for you. And some of you are attaching too much to a loss, or you're attaching too much to a separation. Okay, you're focusing too much on, you feel like you're missing out on something. But I don't necessarily think that that is the case here. Yes, there's been a separation, but this feels more like, in the long run, this is going to end up being a blessing in disguise for you. Yes, there's a separation. However, can you switch your aim of focus to one of, can you highlight the benefits of this separation, or can you highlight the things that you are actually receiving as a result of going through this separation? Because there is something here, which is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is an exciting new beginning. It is a breakthrough. It is a victorious new beginning in your life. You do have the Knight of Swords here in the past with the Strength card. Something happened very quickly, and you've had to be quick on your feet. You've had to be brave. The Strength card is all about bravery, and it's all about overcoming some type of obstacle. The Star, the Tower, and the Knight of Swords, something happened so quickly where you didn't really have a whole lot of time to be quick on your feet, but you were forced to. And I definitely see that here for you, showing up in the cards, for sure. And so, yeah, let's go ahead, and that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 oracle cards to see what else comes in. So you have Kuan Yin, care and compassion, choose to be loved, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. You have hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours, recognize your divine worth, choose loving thoughts. And you also have Serapis Bay, ascension, move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. This is like the stars here, okay? This is your card here for this reading, this Serapis Bay card, okay? I do think that some of you are sort of ascending in your life path here. It is just the case. I don't know why this is the case, but it is. I think it's just part of what we sign up for here as humans. But it is the case that many times we must separate from something, or we must see something fall out in order to kind of move up, or have the perspective, or what I should say is acquire the new perspective. And that's what I see here with this ascension idea in this Serapis Bay. Hope is also another key word with the star. Again, the star is the most important card in this reading for you. I would really, if I were you, I'd focus on the star, okay? I'd focus your attention on hope, optimism, healing for the future. Kuan Yin, care and compassion. This is taking care of yourself, doing some sort of self-care practice, doing what you can to, recuperate your energy and revitalize yourself in some ways, heal yourself. So let's go ahead and let's start to move up the pyramid. But if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. So you have the 10 of Wands, you have the Death card, and you also have the Page of Wands. Okay, so 10 of Wands is a burden, okay? Some of you have been met with a challenge, met with a burden. There's like a double, triple, quadruple confirmation here. It's showing up in the cards. Just like the universe is like, I'm not playing around. Like this is what's been happening, okay, with the 10 of Wands. However, the 10 of Wands is a completion. And so I do feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel here for you. I do think that there's the energy of light being at the end of the tunnel in this reading. And, along with that, you have this Death card. The Death card is about transformations. It is a poignant card for this reading because it is a serious card, but it's not something to be afraid of. It's going through a transformation in your life. It's going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. But if you look here, I really like the illustration. You can see that there's a lot going on under the surface. There's actually more going on under the surface of the water than this person realizes. So this person's taking the person out of the water, but they don't realize all of everything that's going on under the surface here. And so when you get the Death card, it's about diving deep. And for you, I think you're uncovering what is under the surface of yourself. Like you're going deep into your inner layers. You're going deep under the surface for you. And I think that that's also super important. It's Scorpio energy. Scorpio is very good at sort of drilling in, diving in, and like getting the fine details of something. And I think you're figuring that part out. You have this Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands is all about some type of good opportunity in your life. It can be about, the Page of Wands can really be about a job offer coming into your life and kind of receiving that for yourself. Page of Wands can say that there's also good news arriving. It is a big card of a job offer, but it's also just some sort of news or opportunity or offer or invitation from the universe that really excites you. And I do think that some of you need a little bit of excitement here as well, because it's been a little heavy. It's a little would be an understatement. It's been a little heavy here in the past. You have the Page of Pentacles, and you also have the Devil card. So we now have 2 pages showing up here. So invitations coming in, and especially the Page of Wands is like an invitation from the universe. But Page of Pentacles can say that in your life, your prospects are looking good. Going back to this 5 of Pentacles, like this is going to largely be dependent on how you're talking to yourself. Like if you're saying, oh, the well is dry, there are no opportunities for me, like, you're not going to find them. That's how it is. And the Devil card says, are you being too negative in this situation? And so I think some of you adopting an optimistic mindset here, with the Star being the most important card in this reading, is super, super important. At the top of the pyramid, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is about your need for security and safety. And the truth is, when you go through something like a spiritual awakening, when you go through a transformation, it's not exactly safe and secure. And that's a necessary part of your journey. On the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Wands. You're faced with a split decision here, deciding on which path to go down. And ultimately, this is leading you further and further along this idea of ascension, and further along your journey and your path. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.